Well, Sunday morning again, and I want to talk about a project that I've been doing. It's a week ago since I put my last project in, and this one is the South African and the Transvaal Wars by Lewis Creswick, and it's written in about 1900s, and it's in 6 volumes, and I call them the Boer Wars, but they call them the South African and more pedantic than I am about what they call things. But I took these off the net originally, and I printed them out, and this one is just in signatures, printed and in signatures, and it's not sewn together, it's not cut, it's not anything at the moment. And this one is this one has been cut at the back, ready for sewing or stitching. And these are volumes 4 and 5 of a project that I'm doing of 6 books, and it's just to show you that I don't actually show people how I make things, because I'm not really all that good at that. I'm not all that good at much, really. But these are just a little thing to keep me my eye in, and to remind me of what I've been doing, because things tend to get lost. Although I have done well over 100 books now, I suppose I've done. I'm not sure, but I don't really keep a count. But it must be well over 100 now. Anyway, I've got the project that I've got is 6 books, and this is books 4 and 5, and 6 I've got to do. 6 is these were taken off the net as HTML files, and the one I've got to do is a PDF file, a little bit more difficult to print off than the others, because I've got more control over the HTML than I have on PDF. Anyway, I'll just put that to one side for the minute, and I'll show you what I've done with the actual books. You can see this is what the format they come in. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. When a little tip I've got for people, I don't know if anybody's interested, but if you look at the ends of these, they're really raggedy, and by the time they've been stitched up, if you look at the ends there, I don't know if I can. I want to get a close up on that for you. You can see that the ends are really raggedy, and by the time these have been stitched up, they really are ragged, and because they're even more out of square than what they should be. And what I did, I produced this. Usually I use a bit of, I've got some emery cloth somewhere, some loose bits, and this is what I been using, with a bit of wood inside. But what I did was I got the wood and I cut the wood, and I placed the emery cloth on the top of it, like so, and then I cut it with a Stanley knife, just an ordinary Stanley knife. It's a bit gritty, but it will cut it, and I put it down like this, and then cut round it, and then I glued it up with the normal glue that you use for bookbinding. And I got these, and this is, I've written on it, is P60 rough, which is the roughest I use at the moment, and P120, it's a finer grade, and then to finish off I use P240, which is on both sides, and this is sandpaper. Those are like a carbide, and this is a sandpaper. The sandpaper doesn't last too long, but these are quite easy to make, and this one lasts. I mean, I don't know how many books I've made with this now, but it really is long lasting. I mean, if you make one of these, you can forget about it for a long time. And the reason I put fine on one side and rough on the other is because when you start working, and they get covered in book dust, you tend to lose sight of which side is what. So it's worth writing on rough and fine, and I've got this one as my finishing one, and they're quite easy to make. And what I use them for is to square off. I put the book in a little press once I've finished it and glued it up and everything, and it's quite uneven, and I use the rough one to rub along the edge of the book, like so. So you just rub it up and down, rub it up and down, rub it up and down, so you get the required height that you want. I usually put it in a press. You can use pegs or G-clamps or anything you like. It doesn't matter, as long as you can square it off. Take a little bit of care, and it comes out, and you don't need a guillotine. This is to stop you using a guillotine or buying a guillotine if you haven't got a guillotine or you can't afford one. And that little invention there, it's a little bit harder work than normal, or cutting things and things like that, but it really works, and you get a fine thing. The only thing that I find is that it's a little bit dusty, and there's little bits at the end of the paper that keep popping out and popping out and popping out. But once you do it, you'll find out what I mean. But it's not too much trouble, and the effect is not absolutely slippery shiny, but it's, if you haven't got the money and you can't afford things, this is the next best thing. So I don't know if that's of any use to anybody, but it works for me. Anyway, I've used it on these books, so that's why I'm telling you about this. These little bits of wood I've used on these books, and these books are, I'll just get them down. I've just put them on the top here. These are the 3 volumes that I've completed. And this is volume 1, volume 2, volume 3 of the South Africa and the Transvaal Wars by Louis Creswick, and those are the 2 that I've got remaining to do, and 1 that I haven't done yet. So there's 6 volumes altogether, so I've done 3 of the volumes completely, and this is what they look like when they're finished. And so they're in what they call a drop hinge or a drop lid box or whatever they call it, and it's a little bit awkward to get out. I forget what number this one is. I need a method now of yeah, that's the box. They're quite easy to make, the boxes. About half a day you need to make a box. About the same time as it takes to do a book, really. And they're all the same venue. This is volume 1 of the South African and Transvaal Wars, and you can see on the edges that there's those little pieces I was telling you about. They are loose, they will pop off, but they keep coming off for ages. But the edges of the book are quite they're not too bad. They're not too bad. I haven't been too pedantic or dramatic with the ends on them, but if you haven't got a guillotine, it does work, and it's something that's worth looking into if you want to make a book and you don't want to spend a lot of money on a guillotine, or you don't want to, you're not good at cutting things. So there you go, and that's book 1. And this is book 2. So they're all in the same vein type of thing, but I do enjoy making these, and they are a good read, some of these older books. It's a pity the English, we haven't got an English website for all this kind of stuff. You can't get it in England. These all come from America. Everything you get comes from America that's on web that's any good. It's the Brits we've got nothing out that's any bloody good. So if you want anything, you've got to go to America to get it. And I'm glad they did, because these are very good. They're good reads as well. These are light reads, and they're written by people that were there. So anyway, if anybody's interested in that, I have made a video actually. This is the sort of second time I've said that, of how I make books. So if anybody's interested in making books and the cases and the drop hinge boxes, and I've gave deference to the people that have have sort of told me how to make them. These are smaller books that I make, which are just ideas from other different people. This is just a little notebook with, I've shown you this type of thing before. I've got the new little Velcro straps at the moment, but these Velcro little buttons, they are powerful, and they will tear that paper away from the top, so make sure that they're in a good position where they've got lots of purchase, so you can't tear them off. They are quite good. I put 2 on each one because I thought they were quite weak, but they're not weak at all. They're quite strong, these little round things. Velcro buttons, I call them. And I think I paid about 3 or 4 quid from the net, off the net for them. This is another thing that I made. I was going to put stuff in it, but it's just a little box, a little box project that I made. They showed me how to make it. I didn't have a lot of interest really in that. It didn't really do anything for me. I've got no interest in boxes as such, only in bookcases. And this is one the wife didn't like the cover on. so I shan't be making any more of them. She's a pretty good judge, the wife. When she says something that's not very good, I don't normally make them anymore. But anyway, these are just ordinary little notepads for people, 200 and something pages, and they've got little ribbons in at the bottom. I've got a ribbon in, and they fit into the little boxes like so, and they're quite a nice little present. And this one has got the little button Velcro bits on, but I'm not too enamoured with them now. I'm quite happy just having a loose lid. I think they do turn. They are very powerful. They will rip the paper off, so I'll have to find a way of sorting that out so they don't. I don't know what it is at the moment, but I haven't got any ideas at the moment. I haven't tried anything. Anyway, that's it for the minute, so I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but that's what I've been doing this week, so I hope it's been of some interest. And I am bringing out a video of how I make my books, so I shall be bringing that out very shortly. Anyway, I'll see you there.